Good day, everyone. In today's video, I have a couple Snap-on lithium batteries. I met a gentleman from the marketplace just a few days ago. I was picking up a e-bike from him. It was just a project e-bike that needed a new battery. And we got talking about the batteries, and a week later he hit me up and said, hey, do you mind taking a look at my Snap-on batteries that are died and see if you can get them going for me? Without thinking too much, I said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look, because if you think it too much, you might overthink it and never do it. So in today's video, we're doing. If you're interested, stay tuned. Alright, so both of these batteries are Snap-ons. They are 18 volts, 4 amp hour batteries, both identical, and they act the same way. The BMS actually comes on. At first I was playing with it, it wasn't, but whenever you press the indicator light, it actually flashes the light, so I'm assuming BMS is good. Hopefully it is good. And to get into those, there's just 4 screws. He actually took them apart, he said, and there's a one dead cell group in each one of these, I believe he said, but we'll take a peek. Okay. Physically, the cells look okay. It is, let's see, looks like the main negative of the pack. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells in series and 2 in the parallel. So 10 cells total in this setup. So in order for them to be 4 amp hour, each one of these is supposed to be 2 amp hours, so 2,000 milliamp hours each. So that's pretty cool. Let's check the voltages on this. You guys here. Let's bring positive. 3.5 volts on the first group, 3.5 volts on the second group, 3.46 on the third, 3.49, 3.48. So all these are actually good voltages. He did give me a charger. I'm gonna put it on a charger real quick and see if it charges or what's going on with it, because all these cells are good. So all these cell groups are within the voltage they're supposed to be at. Okay. It is charging, because I got this plugged into my kilowatt meter and I'm reading 100 watts. So it is charging at about 100 watts right now. So I'm gonna let this charge for a second and see what it does, and we'll take apart this second one real quick. These cells look physically okay also. Let's see where the voltages are on this. So that's 2.95, that's good. 2.91, 2.9, 2.97, half a volt on this one. This is our corporate one, and it's actually the reading negative half a volt. So yeah, these cells reverse polarity, and yeah, this cell group is bad on this one. Cool, and this one is still charging. It's taking 100 watts in, so that's interesting. We'll let that one charge. And as far as this one goes, there is one bad cell group on it, and I do have some replacement cells we could use to re-spot weld this one real quick and see what we can do with this one. I'll grab everything we need and I'll be right back. Alright, so I did grab some cells. The cells I'm going to be using is EVE. They are 18650s, 25 Ps. These are high discharge rate. They're like 30 amp discharge rate, and then they are 2500 milliamp hours. So actually this is going to increase the capacity of the pack. So instead of the 4 amp hours, we're actually going to have 5 amp hour pack. So it's going to be higher capacity, and these cells are great for the power tools and stuff like that with this high 30 amp discharge rate. So it's going to be good for this particular battery. What I want to do, I actually want to kind of try to save some of this nickel, just because it looks like they kind of have it soldered into the board, and it's nice thick nickel strip. So I'm going to try to kind of salvage as much as I can of it. We might add some of the other nickel strip to the back of it. We'll see how things turn out. But for right now, the plan is to salvage as much of the nickel strip, kind of bend it back, take these, bend these back, and looks like these ones are the temperature sensors. Yeah, these ones are temperature sensors, and then you gotta be careful removing those so we can reuse those without damaging them and causing the BMS to not function properly. Alright, these are super easy. Okay, cool. And let me see what I can do with the nickel strip. Alright, so I took all the old cells out, and as I was taking the old cells out, I actually put all the new cells in, all the EVEs in. But I didn't ever check the voltage on any of these EVE cells. I want to make sure that they are identical. They're all brand new, came out of the same pack, but I just want to make sure that the voltage is identical on all of these cells before we spot weld them. I also want to put some of the insulator rings on the positive ends on all these. Something that Snap-on did not do, just a cheap insurance preventing everything from shorting out. But yeah, let me check the voltages, throw those insulator rings on, and then we will spot weld this back together. I got tired of tearing my hands up, so I've been using the gloves when I take these apart. 3.49, 3.46, that's close enough. Should be the negative. 3.51, 3.51, 3.5, 3.5, 3.51, 51, 5, 4.9. Yeah, that's close enough. They're all pretty nice, and I do have some insulator rings. These are just a few pennies, but they're worth the insurance. And then how you do those is you just put them on a positive end like this. That kind of prevents the negative and the positive from shorting out. And you only need to do these on the positive end. And you probably shouldn't be wearing the jewelry, but do as I Say know it as I do, as they say. And for spot welder, what I'm using is the Vevor one at the 801D. I normally put a link in the description just because I really like this one. It gets job done. And through power of editing, and actually of me running out of room on my phone, this first pack is done. I was actually struggling a little bit at first spot welding it, then I bumped it up all the way to 80, and that was seemed to be doing it. It was spot welding real nice. And actually at the end I took a little bit of the nickel strip that I have. It's a pure nickel strip, cut up a little strips and spot welded it over the top. And this is literally for aesthetic purposes. It did look terrible of me just spot welding the old nickel strip. But it is this one side, this is the other side. The voltage is good. I already checked it, but let me see if I can show you guys. So that this is the negative. And see if this is the positive. So that's showing 17.61 volts. That's great. BMS woke back up, so that's doing that. And actually the first pack, the original pack, is charged. It charged really quick, so I'm assuming it probably doesn't have a lot of capacity. So we will actually capacity test this. We'll check the voltages and capacity test it. Let me see if I can throw this one on the charger. See if that starts charging here. Yeah, that does that click, and then the kilowatt meter will go up. Let me show this thing doesn't need to be plugged into it. But yeah, that's just from the charger right here, 108 watts going in here, so it's actually taking a charge. I also used a little bit of a thermal glue and thermal glued those temperature sensors back on there, so that those are great. I'm gonna keep this one open while I'm charging it, and I'm actually gonna do discharge test on this one also once I'm done discharging this one. Let me get this one hooked up to the computer and we will see what we can do. Alright, so I have the battery hooked up to the discharge tester. I did go, this one is this positive one. It's actually labeled right here, battery positive. This one's battery negative. And I do have it going to my dischargers, the Kunking, whatever the model is, KP184. And the voltage on the pack is 20.76 volts. I did check the voltages on each cell. They're anywhere from like 4.1 to 4.1516. So they are pretty much all the way charged. And I do want to pull 10 amp load. And I also set a cutoff voltage for 12.5, so it's 2.5 volts per cell. And yeah, I want to just charge it at a decent rate just to see what happens. Let's see if we can put a load on it. All right, here we go. Ah, there it goes. It was not working very good. All right, so anyways, that's putting the 10 amps on there. The voltage is staying there so far, about a little under 20 volts. I'm gonna let it run and see what kind of amp hours it will get out of this at 10 amps, and see how good this pack is. I'll give you an update. All right, so discharge test just finished up. And it did shut off at that 12.5 volts right there. and we ended up with 3.11 amp hours. That's pulling 10 amps, and this pack is older, so I mean it is healthy. So this this battery pack is healthy. I'm not recharging back up, but to make sure. But everything is healthy. I checked its cells there, a little like from anywhere from 2.7 to about 3 volts, which is, I mean, understandable for the older pack like this. But on the top end, they're pretty much identical voltages, and we're still got fairly good capacity for what it is. I'm gonna actually message the gentleman and I've got these batteries from that to fix, and I'm gonna ask him what he wants me to do. If he wants me to just resell it while I'm here, or I'll leave it as is because it is a good functioning battery. I'll give you guys an update. Alright, so the new pack is done charging. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna check all the cell voltages. The old pack, this not rebuilt pack, I'm gonna put it back on a charger. I did talk to the guy. He said that it wasn't charging on him. There we go. He said it wasn't charging on him, and it wouldn't take charge at all, but we got it to charge, and it is a good working pack, so we decided to just leave it alone. If it gives them any problems, then we'll rebuild it. I'm just making sure it's starting to charge. Yeah, it's pulling them over 100 watts on this one, so very cool. So we're gonna leave this one alone, and if it gives them problems, we'll rebuild it later on. But for this one, we got 4.14, 4.15, 4.15, 4.16, 4.15, yeah. All right, so this is perfect. I am gonna pull a load on this now. I'm gonna pull the same 10 amps, and I will bring you guys along. Hang on, let me get everything hooked up and I'll bring you along. Alright, so I have it hooked up to the discharger here. I'm gonna run same 10 amp discharge test with the same voltage shut off. So it's gonna pull that same 10 amps on the new pack. So what are you guys betting this is gonna produce? I'm saying 4.5 amp hours at the 10 amp load there. Anyways, I'm gonna let it run. I'll give you an update, see how good you guessed it. We'll let this one charge, and then we should be done with this project. I'll recharge this one too, and it'll be good to go. All right, what do you guys think? 4.713 amp hours. It's actually pretty impressive for pulling 10 amps the whole time. This is the chart right here. It kind of goes, and it kind of dips right at the end right there, and then discharge tester cuts off, and the voltage recovers a little bit. So that's perfect. All right, so I'm still charging this one. This one I'm just gonna let it cool off now. It's warm. I did check all the nickel while I was pulling that load to make sure nothing was burning up. I mean, the battery got hot, don't get me wrong, but pulling 10 amps, it's 5 amps out of each cell, which is continuously the whole time. So that's a pretty good load there, but everything is good. All the nickel stripped, it's not heating up to where it will burn me or anything like that, so I think they'll run nickel spot welds are good. I just gotta throw these together and recharge them both back up, and then we'll be done. Alright, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.